really good way to learn things about the past.
When you say history, I think of like all of the Tudors and like the Shakespearean times, and because usually we do sometimes like role play when we do history in school, and I think that makes it like quite fun as well.
Well, I absolutely love it. I've got 1,000 history books at home. It's my favourite thing.
If someone would say, like, just came up to me and just said the word history, I would sort of think of the Great World War and different places that I've researched and been to that has loads of history about different kings and queens and people. And also Ada Lovelace.
My favourite type is like family history.
You can look back on what's happened in the past and how it's changed your life completely. Like, people have done things in the past that are crazy to what we're doing now.
History is a big part in our evolution, in our society. So I think that it means a lot to me, and I really like to learn about it because I like to learn our ways back in the day.
Sometimes you get to learn about your ancestors and how what you do now has come to be.
If history didn't happen, nothing like technological would have really happened. It would have just been us riding on horses and everything would be wooden.
Well, I like the Egyptians, and I've got like this huge whole history book about the Egyptians, so probably that.
I think it's quite like special to like teach them what they know about. So if they're living like near Sherwood Pines, they could like tell them about their past and the Great Oak, and they'll like seem fascinated kind of.
Without it, nothing would exist, and without it, we wouldn't know how to dress, we wouldn't know how to walk, we wouldn't know how to do anything.
It's good to know what happened in the past, because if we think how humans are today and then how they were in the past, you can just see the big difference to how they were, and it's just good to know about things.
It's evolution, and if we didn't have history, then we wouldn't have anything really. It would just be pretty much in these woods trying to cut them down, trying to gather materials.
Because if you didn't know anything about history, then you wouldn't know how anything was made or anything.
Well, I think history is important because you can pass things on to other generations. We wouldn't know what happened in the past, so history is really important.
Say if somebody like 3 million years ago didn't even know that we existed, but they wanted to leave like their mark behind. They could leave something behind, then like to the present day where we are now, people would know what exactly they left behind, and yeah.
I've been to pretty much all the abbeys in the area. I've been to everything linked to Sherwood Forest.
I told them about like what makes me interested, because that's like the Great Oak and Clipston Mine, because like that's like really like Clipston Mine's like really large, and my sisters went there on a school trip once and they said they really enjoyed it, and like learning about their past is just like wow.
So like I'll tell someone that I'm from Nottinghamshire, and then I think Mum would say Robin Hood, and then he'd go, ah.
I would think of Annesley Hall with all the ghosts like Lord Byron and William Chorworth, who were cousins, but Lord Byron killed him, William, so yeah. And Newstead Abbey.
What it used to be like this area, and how it used to be literally just fields. Like this whole area, we would be stepping just into a wood. This wood would be farther and like way farther, and that would all be fields, like far.
In Clipston, there's the mine that's been there for years and years, and it's still there today, but it's not working, but, well, actually, I think it might be.
They should get involved and learn more, because they'd really enjoy it, and then they would know more about it.
Well, Raven said us in Nottingham, and my favourite part about Nottingham is the history of Robin Hood. He was a really well-known criminal and he stole from the rich to give to the poor, and he defeated all the bad people like the Sheriff of Nottingham.
There's 2 mines near me. There's the Mead Vale one and the Clipston one.
I know that Ravenshead, the place where I live, used to be called Fishpool, and when they're building the houses, which are like just over there and around there, they found this thing called the Fishpool Hoard in the 1960s, and it was basically loads of jewels.
I think experiences, let's say we were learning about the Victorians and how they learned it at like school or something, I find it best to have an actor or someone come in and give you like an experience of actually being a Victorian school child.
Possibly acting it out or like telling other people about it, and then them learning it just reminds me almost.
I think it is to go on a school trip because you can like see it with your own eyes and everything, and you get facts and everything. But if not, I'll just watch a video because you still get the same amount of facts and you can see it with your own eyes.
Instead of like just saying it to me and then I don't remember, it sort of involved me in a way. Like if we sort of researched loads of different things and then made big posters and projects about them, then that's how I would remember.
Experience it in it myself, like going there, like a school trip or something.
Because my sister's got these books of horrible histories and we read them together, and we read them before bed, or we watch the TV show like in the day.
Through experiences of going out, going around and doing stuff, because you actually feel like you're back in time. You feel like you've literally just stepped into a time machine. You're going all the way back in time, like a century, and you experience what they felt like back in the day.
I think the best way to learn is if you can go on a trip with school.
Like, I mean, I like to like learn from like video clips and stuff and like school trips, because then you get to like experience it for yourself.
The best trip I went on was when we went to see the Major Oak at Sherwood Forest.
Well, I learn best about reading because it can give me my own picture, and I normally read non-fiction, so it gives me a good idea of what's actually happening in the world.
I like the ancient history, and I just think that's really amazing how we've gone from riding chariots and fighting with spears to riding cars and fighting with guns.
Because I really like to learn about animals. I think they're really cool because we are animals, there are animals all around us. So the history of them must be really important, and we need nature to survive. Trees give us oxygen, plants give us food.
I like learning about the World War and just main people who have done something great in life and helped the world.
And I also like dinosaurs, and I quite like medieval history. I really like that.
In Annesley Hall there was a lady called Elizabeth she was one of the cleaners there, and there was also Mary Chorworth, and in news reports you've been able to see, or like people going around the hall, in news reports you've seen Elizabeth appearing in just this one single window, and then people have seen Mary walking in and out of her room.
Mainly the Egyptians and the Vikings. Don't ask me why, but I just love the Egyptians for some reason.